worry, it's not frozen. It's not frozen. This is a feature that I actually never use from this game, which is that, yeah, at any point you can actually screenshot stuff and save them and everything. It's a start and R, I believe is the combination. But yeah, it's not a feature you tend to see very often. And funnily enough, I figured this was probably one case that it was probably useful. So, oh, apparently I'm doing these in the reverse order because you can't skip out of this one. Okay, whatever, that's fine. Anyway, so here's the long and short of how all this stuff went. I think it's probably best summarized as, holy crap, Bear Claw is good. I didn't realize how frickin' amazing it is. In fact, yeah, there's one here that I took as an example from just a random fight. Bear in mind, this is a double hit. This is why this one's picked out in particular. For most of these fights, I didn't even have the proper augments on there, so it wasn't even getting its full power here. I'm not entirely sure why this thing hits so hard, because every time I tested this for routing and whatever else, I believe maybe it has some leftover, like, additional strength scaling or some crap. I don't know. Because I've never seen a situation where Bear Claw was this frickin' good for any reason. But anyway, so yeah, this means that on this poor archer here, we're hitting a 732. Because yeah, it's a just standard double hit. Now, what I was expecting up to this point was basically that I would just run up to stuff and just keep using driving cut. So I was doing the Balbriggan and driving cut because both are lightning augment, simple enough. And then I kept noticing, you know what, this move over here, this Bear Claw seems pretty good. What's up with that? And so yeah, like for example, in this case, almost all of these just boiled down to get in there. Well, one of them was a complete elimination, except for like one guy. But almost all of them just involved pretty much mashing to the very center of the fight, and then just waiting for that crit counter plus breach. And then as soon as that moment happened, just finish him off with a Bear Claw. Like, a Breach plus Strengthen plus Bear Claw seems to, well, it seems to finish off basically everything. Some of the beefier bosses, that's why you needed that crit specifically. Most of the rest of them, you just needed a Breach. But pretty much everything short of bosses and occasionally the heavier units, like specifically the ones sporting shields and that kind of thing, it just dominated like crazy. And again, that was before the actual augment stuff happened. Which, yeah, this guy's name, Aishin the Defeated, pretty fitting. Actually, this guy died to a counter. It was pretty funny. I kind of was surprised that he went for it, but oh well. Let's see. No, that was just showing that you can one-shot a cleric. Funnily enough, that wizard over there on the left, he wandered off way to the left of the map, so that's the only reason he survived. Leon did this whole thing, which was just hilarious. For whatever freaking reason, he went ahead and hid on the back of the map, and then just put barricades absolutely everywhere. So it was just a mix of phalanxes and like just all this crap here, to the point where at one point he even found himself unable to find a way to take a shot from this tile. So that was pretty fantastic. But yeah, so that was pretty lucky. That fight, I believe, took 4 attempts, because one of the times he locked himself up at the very top left, which seemed like it was going to be a win, and then I got knocked off, and then I got knocked off again, and yeah, not terribly ideal there. But yeah, this guy just was running around, throwing down barricades everywhere like an absolute clown. It was absolutely fantastic. Anyway, so away we go, back to the actual run here. Anytime now. There we go. Let's get on with it. And, yeah, if you're wondering why it says PSP even though we're on a Vita, that's because it's the Vita emulating a PSP. That's just how that works. Ew. What? Well, fine. I guess we'll go start it normally. I don't know what that's about. That's going to be super jacked up if the ROM decided to corrupt itself right now. More than likely, it's probably just going to come down to the fact that adrenaline is a little bit weird, and sometimes you just want to launch stuff directly instead of anything else. What is going on right now? Why is it doing that? Does the normal version launch? Hang on, it needs a restart. I think that's what it is. Just one quick second here, we'll get this restarted, and then we'll get it going proper. Because now, unless I missed something, I think it was up to 1, because, well, as of lately, I've been getting up at 1 a.m. anyway, just because, well, it's a thing with the kiddos, and I'm trying to do this whole overnight potty training thing. Yeah, I think something happened with the Vita here. I'm not sure why it's having an issue right now. That's fine. We'll get that sorted shortly. But while we're working on that crap, yeah, so I was up till a little bit past 1 last night to kind of finish them all off. It didn't take as much as I expected. The what's it? Let's restart the thing. The one with the guy with the Terror Knights and the rogues. For whatever reason, the last attempt, I want to say it took like 4 or 5 attempts. The last attempt, for some reason, they didn't really feel like spamming their big explodey moves very much. Couldn't tell you why, but hey, if it works, it works. So ultimately, just once again, got a breach on the ferry. They went ahead and healed. They forgot to actually heal off the breach, and that at that point ended up getting a crit, and that was that. So that was that one gone. Here's it properly working. There we go. Now it should hopefully be properly working. I'll be real annoyed if this thing corrupted itself again. Alright, there we go. Now it's actually going. Apparently, don't go to the screenshot menu. Good to know. Good to know. Screenshots are evil. Couldn't tell you what's up with that, but sure. If you say so, game. And it's not like it was sitting and running for any long time, either. I basically have to shut this thing down entirely and have it reboot while attached to the cord in order for it to properly go to the other screen here. But okay. So, here we be. So, hit level 30 right on the last fort. Man, oh man, this dude is looking beefy right now. And yeah, at 30, ended up unlocking the Varangian and the, well, the Worm Scale was a couple of levels ago, but that's fine. So yeah, pretty strong is the thing. And the funny part is, I had Augment Light sitting on here for a while. I didn't even have Augment Lightning. That's probably why Driving Cut wasn't doing as well as I thought it would. So what I did here, build at the moment is axes, obviously. Aug Light for the Varangian, the Augment Air for Bear Claw getting improved, Field Elk for the only healing option we've got available. I didn't realize how good Siege was for this run. I think it's partially because I haven't seen the AI using it, and normally my brain was always like, you know, ignoring Rampart Aura with Siege, basically worthless, because we can just fly. And so yeah, it turns out, yeah, no, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And for that matter, if we ended up getting the Warp Boots down the line, might even be worth switching over to them, because with Siege, Rampart Aura doesn't really matter anyway. It's one of the main reasons that that Flight is better than Warp. But yeah, that all being said, I somehow missed the fact that it got strengthened. I know I saw it in the patch notes a while ago, but it didn't really register as a alternative to Rally. So as good as Rally is, I mean, this is so cheap. I'm fairly certain this is hands down the cheapest strengthen you can get in the game. So yeah, basically that plus Bear Claw plus the fact that you're putting out breaches. Holy crap, it does damage. So yeah, and then you've got Stop Ward because you basically gotta. I'll have that on something else at some point. Oh, we've got Counter Hit because of course we've got Counter Hit. Rampart Aura and Phalanx just for jamming up the lines. Yeah, just isolating units was more or less how the forts ended up going. Just basically locking you. Anyone would charge forward, they would get locked up. Fly forward, fight a few units, take out 1 or 2, lock up the rest, and then just deal with everything one at a time. It's very effective. And so yeah, parry of course, because you gotta have parry in order to make a tank build work. And so yeah, there we are. Shocked by how well this thing works. So let's see if we get the cutscene, and yes we do. Fantastic. So we did get all of them. Now to not screw it up, because after all that effort, you can just get locked out of it right here. Just one man. Alright. So it was, all of those cancelled Bible DLCs that got Roderick screwed over. Alright. Funnily enough, if you didn't know, the Apocrypha, all it really means is just, well, hidden text. So yeah, if it was a reference to the Bible versions, there's some funny stuff in the Catholic Apocrypha. Funnily enough, we only know about some of it because apparently Ethiopia had apparently sealed away part of it and just had it as part of the regular canon, and so that, yeah, part of it survived. Anyway, so the default option is, oh man, I went through all that stuff. I don't think I want the super good abilities. Sorry, Pope guy. Sorry for wasting your time. Or you can just tell him, yeah, no, give me cool skills, please. Would never use such power so capriciously. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're one step closer to being the mega beast that owns everything. Alright, so at this point, if we go over to... I forget if we need to... yeah, there we go. The Apocrypha. Towards the end of the war, King Roger Brigantus willed the thing to break the deadlocked armies. Great power unleashed by this devastated everything everywhere. Land was scarred beyond recognition. It's actually the floating ruins later are supposedly like he just went and blew up an entire city and it just flew into the sky forever. Which is weird because it just kind of happens to share a lot of similarities with the same ones that show up in Knight of Lotus and March of the Black Queen, but whatever. Anywho. So, yeah, he lost anyway. Such is how that goes. They were actually a little bit disappointing in vanilla. Like, they were the best thing that you could do with MP, sure, but, them suckers were expensive. Also, apparently that's wild. The only Balmacan, that we've fought in the entire game was Andoris, apparently. Actually, no, wait a minute. Who the hell else was there? Because we haven't, like, fully killed off Andoris yet. He's still in the Hanging Gardens. I mean, does beating him the first time actually count as a Balmacan kill? That's super weird that they specifically felt the need to put that as a separate line if there's only one guy that's going to be affected by it. Oh well. Anywho. So these should be... No, they're not orange. Did we need to do anything else before? Oh, hell, I screwed this up real good. Son of a dick, I can't even do them. Actually, wait, no, wait, Olivia's here. Olivia's here, we should be able to do them. That's why I kept her, right. Man, for a second there I thought that was all for nothing. Alright, save after all that amazing progress. I think this is the one that we need to head to first. Actually, I should probably pull up the list, huh? Yeah, there we go. There's the temples, and Olivia is just kept around as a door-opening slave here. Okie doke. And that's why they end up being a couple later, because she's the one that gave them all the superpowers that we're probably not going to end up using, but I guess we'll see. Anyway, let me pull up the... there was a drop thing that the Rakes had put out a while ago. So let me just make sure we're not missing anything. There we go to the guide, and then we go to... I believe it was the code generator. Which, by the way, for anyone that uses the guide, I'll try to get the... I'll try to get all of the links updated. It's just these things get updated all the time, so I don't know when they get updated. But whenever I don't have access to them anymore, you know, if the link change... I mean, right now, the one that seems to be working is... What is it here? The class growth chart. And I'll basically take it to the same place anyway. Right, let's see. Soul Aid Change List. I believe this is the one that has a page over where all the crafting books went. And yeah, here we are. So which one's Nadomsa? I don't... Okay, I won't know until we get to the first area here. Island of Deknigos? Well, whatever. Main reason I'm going for Wind first, by the way. There isn't any particular book... Well, I don't know if the book I'm looking for is here. One of the main reasons I'm looking at this one is because I know that it's like majority units that can't heal, at least from the last couple times that I ran it. Of course, saying that, there's a cleric right there, and these have been updated. Well, they wouldn't have been that updated. Anyway, I remember a lot of griffins and things, and I know it can randomly spawn, so we'll see. We shall see. I remember it primarily being archers, which we hard counter very well. Yeah, it's almost all archers. It's just the one healer. So theoretically here, all we gotta do is run up and slapify that healer. Do we pop a siege? Not yet. And I actually forgot to pick up more healing items, so hopefully this will be enough. Completely ran out of healing leaves. Ended up restocking on healing seeds a little bit, but yeah, hopefully we don't have to do any class changes. Otherwise, we'll see. We'll see what we do. Rude. Just plain rude. Alright, well, I mean, if he's gonna put himself out of range, I guess. So what we're gonna do, since this guy's gonna have some pretty quick turns, I'm just gonna go ahead and give him a little bit of a slap here. And then we're gonna run back. If I remember this map correctly, that guy actually can't get back up. So we deal with the two griffins, then we deal with the archer that's up here, who is definitely not much of a threat. Then we should be good to go from there, I'd assume. Unmuting it just one quick second here. Okay, and back. And by the way, if I sound a little funny today, it's because I was outside earlier defrosting the wife's car, and it's really cold out. Which, by the way, we one-shot that griffin over there. Don't even need any breach benefits out of that. Dandy. Won't say no to a dex card here either. Hopefully that guy won't have any super moves to throw at us, but should be safe. Should be completely safe, and yeah, that cleric, we should be able to just stay out of his range entirely. Good job, cleric. Good job being big smart over there. So yeah, we should be able to officially one-shot everything on this map. Heal. Venom is not ideal. That sucks. Forgot about that. I really have no reason to forget about that because I abused that thing a whole bunch on a recent run. Actually, it wasn't even that recent. So last year I had done a, I was basically doing a no grind except all classes kind of thing. And actually, what was it? I don't think it was all classes. It was some kind of weird limitation. But somehow I had 3 griffins on the thing, and the 3 of them sat up there just chucking rocks forever. It was a vanilla run. Anyway. Man, hearing word now that apparently ice trucks aren't even getting to a lot of places right now. That is some severe dumbness. Now, for those that don't live in a snowy climate, the long and short of it is that it's disgusting out there right now. Like, most cars, even our heavier car, can't actually get any traction. It's just basically have this several-inch layer of disgusting all over all the roads everywhere. And apparently no snow trucks have bothered to show up since last night, so that's always nice. Also, I really would love if they'd stop critting over and over. I mean, that's what, how many crits in a row now? Can I maybe not just die for no reason, please? This attempt is going very well. Alright. I don't know if there's any benefit to blocking these tiles up here, but just in case, I'm gonna throw that out there. Actually, no, there's no reason, because they probably won't go up there. Alright, whatever. Just re-up strengthen. Then we'll deal with these guys. Thankfully, they are archers, so they should be fairly slow. Oh, right, they have sure shot, or they have true flight. And yeah, the healer shouldn't matter, because aside from the ones that end up getting fortified, we should be able to one-shot everybody. Sweet frickin' Jesus, what is this crit rate right now? Come on. What is going on with these guys? Did they all... No, they don't even have, like, the whole luck ring vagrant sleeve situation. So why are they critting so much? I mean, they've had 10 plus crits in the last few minutes. I think that's maybe enough now. Right, good. And Venom faded. We'll probably take another 2 safety heals. I'm really not sure we're going to have enough seeds to get through this. I feel like this is probably a perfect spot if you ever wanted to train deflection. Just go full heavy armor into here and then just sit here deflecting all day. And in fact, you know what? A bit of an idea. Maybe not. I was going to say we can throw out a phalanx in front, but they'll just go around the side. It really wouldn't make much sense. I mean, 44%. Could maybe miss some of those. Just saying. Annoying part is they're probably going to have finishers, yeah, like right there. Alright, there go any chances to miss anymore. Alright, so we let them finish their finishers. Is there any reason to just fly up there, maybe? Not really. Just gotta sit here spamming heal leaves until we can finally not get hit a bajillion times and actually have a chance to go do some damage. I mean, I hear blocking exists in this game. Obviously right now they've got a really big accuracy boost. I feel like True Flight is closer to 30% than 28% like standard, but details. Right. This next round I think we can finally start attacking. Especially if another crit. Are you done with these crits already? Finally. Hey look, actual blocks exist. Little miracles, you know? And another crit. So I should be able to last around, take another heal, take another archer. Just gotta get these freaking crossbows going. Actually, that's the move we're gonna... no. I guess we'll have to test out next round. I was gonna say, I didn't test how much damage Infinity does. I mean, I wouldn't want to do it that way anyway, because they've got regen, and potentially they've got healing options, but it just would be a fun thing to see damage-wise. I mean, we're not even spec'd for Earth right now, so it really wouldn't matter much. More than likely, it's probably something like 200 or whatever. We could roll for a crit here, but I think we might as well take the heal. The next one we can probably roll for a crit. One thing I've noticed a hell of a lot of is something you see a whole lot in Vanilla 2. That when you start getting towards the end of the game, the drop chances for gear and whatever else drop significantly. And presumably that was something to do with the fact that they expected, expected that you'd need a lot more base stats than anything else by this point. Because if you're starting to have high-level classes, well, you're not getting those base stat gains anymore. So you probably want more stat cards, which they were right on that one. I will say, as far as elegant solutions to fairly complex systems go, that's really not bad. Alright. Yeah, even non-strengthened, we can just completely own this guy. There's nothing left of him except for a bag. Got destroyed everywhere but the sack. You absolute douchebag. Why? Man, I hate that crap so much. And it's just in the endgame. So I went and I tested it earlier out of curiosity. And it is just in the endgame. They just decide towards the end of the game that you're not allowed to have those things. This guy. This frickin' guy. I mean, more than likely it probably would have been something like a plated vest or whatever else that I already have. But still, there was a chance it was a, a nice item of some description that I would have liked to have regardless. I mean, if it's anything, we can sell it, so that's a plus. But no. No. Dude guy wants to be an a-hole, so that's just how it goes, I guess. Yeah, one thing I'm really looking forward to is going to be the Fire Temple. Because you can throw so many dudes off. I don't want her running anywhere, so I'm just going to throw out another Phalanx. There's really no point in going and healing. I mean, even if she had a finisher every round till the end of the game here, she still wouldn't have a chance. Even unstrengthened, we're doing 250s. Yeah, she's just going to accept her fate there. Well, so much for actually getting an item. That's cool. I mean, the last 7 fights here, I think I've gotten maybe a handful of coins and absolutely no items. It's not like we need those or anything. I mean, they'd be incredibly useful, and I definitely want them, but it's not like we really need them, right? We don't need items to progress. That's not why we're doing any of this. See, like, the actual drop rates and things like that, those are good. Those are just fine. They feel great at the moment. It's just the fact that the AI decides to steal stuff that's absolutely ridiculous. And I believe it's actually been mentioned as something... It's something along the lines of just the way that they end up picking tiles towards the end of the game, like it was just some weird coincidence or something. But, I don't know. Like, that move right there is something you see very often, where they can't even take an attack from that tile. Actually, that guy had a crossbow. He might be able to attack from that tile. But either way, like, where they move into really inopportune positions just to take your stuff. Which it would make sense if it was for the stat cards, but they do it for the bags, which it might just be that they just see, a blocked off tile and want to go there. But, I don't know. Yeah, not a single item bag left over, because that... one frickin' bird. Frustrating. Okay. Moving on, though. That's one out of the way. Gotta make it through 5 fights. And I believe with the exception of the Fire Temple, technically speaking, we can almost one-shot the bosses in a lot of cases. But we'll see how it goes. Lots of birdies. Now, this temple was always one of my favorites because of this little wind effect that goes on. It's minor, but it does so much. Alright, so should be same thing. Bunch of random archers and things, but only one healer. So I think our first order of business is going to be just to attack that healer. Alright, we're going to have to set up some sidestep for sure. That's effective, buddy. That's real effective. Yeah, naturally. Hits the 40% and the 25%. Out of curiosity, what is our luck right now? I mean, it should be like negative 20 billion, right? Yeah, don't expect too much. Sounds right. I don't expect to even be able to pick up anything off the ground before getting screwed over. Oh well. Oh, by the way, there was a little bit of confusion last night over a particular thing, so I figured I'd go ahead and clarify it. So a lot of times I go over different runs explaining that something will be an Iron Man run or whatever else. Apparently in some languages that mistranslates in some weird ways. To where it apparently just means trying to set up a run where you're invincible or something. So yeah, if that kind of happens to be the case, basically all an Iron Man run means is that you just don't reload the save. So if you ever see a game over screen, that is the end of that, with some exceptions. Like if there's reasonable exceptions for the purpose of a particular run, like for example if doing OB64, in a lot of cases I would just say it should be death of the leader for that one. Like typically the actual loss condition is not necessarily like the main game over screen, though it's almost always that, but for a lot of cases it's just when the situation would realistically be no longer viable. So for example, in XCOM runs, it's like when you go and you lose your entire, all of your network of bases and things like that. Ooh, we can crit kill this guy. Nice! And in fact, if we just throw one of these casually over here, that guy's not going to get back anytime soon, so we don't even have to worry about him. Yeah, screw it, we're just going to one-shot everybody. That works just fine. But anyway, it specifically came up because Mr. Sheena had gone out and put out a bunch of new rules and stipulations and whatever else. So I was curious to try Iron Manning that after this run is complete. We'll see how much of a complete fustercluck that run ends up being, but yeah, that is a hell of a lot of 40% they keep nailing. I'm sure would appreciate if they'd miss at some point. Thank you. I mean, we can take a lot of punishment, but that's kind of the point of an evasion/high health build. I mean, actually, everything about this build is more or less how I always like to play 5th Gen Armored Core. Oh yeah, that guy's got Fortify. He can actually not immediately die to things. Ooh, that guy too. Wow. You've got a whole few of them that can actually not get instantly annihilated. Yeah, we'll just Bear Claw this guy, I think. Hitting everything with our axe tornadoes. If we end up generating 100, it almost might be worth taking the risk to take that guy out if we got a bear claw in the pocket. I mean, if we can save some healing items, I will. Now that we're actually in the temple, worth taking a little bit of a risk here. As they nail every 40%, and go ahead and take the card, you absolute pricks. Alright. Dude, I hate that programming so freaking much. That was a dex card. We definitely need more of those, because it's boosting our accuracy a lot. Okay, yeah. This guy's doing a lot of damage. He can do a lot of dying. If everything goes ideal here, we should be able to leave this level... Oh, is that a... Yeah, that's Judgment. That's another dex card there. If all goes well, we should be able to leave it using only one healing item, as long as those 40% can actually be, you know, misses. Beautiful. I mean, this guy is kind of like those weird jank runs you see in Dark Souls every now and then, where it's just like onion armor and a buckler. Except instead of like a giant greatsword or something like that, he's running around with an axe. You know, you really don't see axes used that often in Souls. It's kind of odd. I was thinking back on it, I used the battle axe a hell of a lot during my first run, but I really don't see them come up that often. Alright, we're gonna have to back off and just heal a bunch now. I'd like to take this nice central tile to hopefully avoid some damage. I think we're now up to the point of needing maybe 3 healing items, because we're going to need a lot of finishers here. Keep getting slowed. Oh hey, salt trucks finally arrived. I mean, that's only about 8 hours too late, but okay. Whatever does it for you. As this prick steals yet another card. See, this is why we have to go for the crafting books. We just cannot get any nice drops anywhere. Unless it's the last guy or it's somebody completely isolated. Like, even during the temples there was a lot of enemies that were just picked off one by one and isolated, and they all either just ended up not dropping any items, or, like, they would just keep dropping cards over and over and over. A few times they would drop items, they would just come back and immediately reclaim them. It's a pain in the nads. Alright. Yeah, I think we'll just slowly work our way towards this guy. Keep getting hobbled. It's kind of inevitable with this many javelins flying around. Peel 'em, whatever. Pila, I suppose, would be the proper term. I wish they'd stop rolling those low odds for hobble, but what can you do? No, we're not going to be able to shake off these debuffs anytime soon anyway. That is, of course, the downside of this this particular build, that in some cases you're kind of screwed by RNG, because you're just sitting there getting hobbled or whatever else over and over. This is definitely one of the more mild ones. But just getting hit by Breach at all, it's kind of the end of that attempt. Alright, good. We'll just lock this guy in. I feel like slow is probably going to wear off pretty soon. I don't really want to go on the offensive until slow wears off. And it doesn't make sense to even do an attack without trying to, you know, without waiting for at least the option to recover. If all goes well, that should be the last recovery item that we need, though. One downside of all those trucks outside is hopefully the kiddos don't wake up early and grumpy. We'll see. If he drops a bag or a good card, that's a judgment. I'm taking it. Screw it. I don't even care if the priest gets to run. It's not like there's really too much he can run to anyway. He's finally figured out the secret. He's found a way to shut off our insane scaling. I mean, we're not even strengthened right now is the funny part. We just do that much damage. Very good. Finally a miss. We need to keep taking random swings at this priest until we get the breach. Yeah, now all the blocks work. Now that they're not really a threat anymore. Thankfully, this guy burned through most of his MP trying to do his fancy moves from before. And I'm not going to bother turning on Siege until we actually get the breach. Because then we end up scaling damage up by about 40 or possibly higher %. Although I'm pretty sure it doesn't even matter now. He might just be toast. Yeah, now it's worth turning on. And who dies? Goodbye. There we go, and he dropped a card, and we'll see if we can manage to not let it get stolen. Rampart... See, like, Rampart doesn't seem like it'd do very much here, but here's the thing. For one thing, it doesn't allow enemies to run away if we turn them sideways to them, but for another thing, while it doesn't affect the wing units, just being able to block off certain tiles could potentially be a lifesaver. They're thinking about going for that card. And they're going for that card. Can we risk it, though? Because I'm thinking even 2 finishers shouldn't be... They don't have 2 finishers. And iced. Fortunately, dropped the death card. Not a good trade for the agility card, but oh well. So far, as I've seen in the endgame, we're getting a lot more use out of accuracy moves than damage moves. Some of the two-hander stuff will become a lot more relevant once we can make that a bit more effective. I mean, it's definitely a hell of a lot of damage right now, but well, it's not really the most effective thing. Because quite frankly, we cannot afford the loss of that shield. Just go ahead and hide up there. That's fine. Probably missed, because that mist was actually nowhere near where we are. Although, I have no idea how he's going so dang fast with a sidearm. Them things slow you down a ton. And I'm kind of tempted to go get that card just in case our luck is freakishly low to the point where it's actually going to give us a benefit. Rolling for a breach there, no luck. That's fine, he's gonna move, and then we can just finish this guy, and then, yeah, we don't have to use any more healing items. So, done deal. Guaranteed finish him, won't finish him. Doesn't matter. Alright, Hermit card, that's workable. Maybe help us out with a caster build down the line. And I will say, we're obnoxiously susceptible to slow as well. Feels like pretty much anything that can hit us with slow has the means to do so. So 150, we go up to 190. This poor bastard gets double parried. Alright, and that should be the end right there. Or not, okay. There we go. That's the end right there. Nice happy 480. And not a single bag drop. That is frustrating. Oh yeah, I should probably be checking where these actual drops are, shouldn't I? Okay, so this is Hanella. So we need 4th Descent. What else? We've got a 3rd Descent. Yeah, we've got Sword on 4th, and then for the 3rd Descent, what the hell do we have here? We've got Crossbow. Well, this is definitely not going to be amazingly useful, is it? Anyway, so yeah, that's going to be our first one down there. I mean, so far we're doing alright. Definitely can't complain about this build. I mean, the crafting books are going to be a guaranteed drop later on down the line. Just giving another quick look here to make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, on 3rd Descent, there's throwing weapons 2 as well. I doubt there's anything we need in there, but we'll see. I mean, sweet double 25%, so don't worry, that's not BS at all. Alright. Templeton. What are we looking at healer-wise here? Because I don't see one. Okay, there's a Erasmus the Cleric. Although, again, they're just running all light classes here. With a Cleric right in front. It's kind of amazing. I'll just put out a siege just for the hell of it. Just in case we're a little bit short to kill off that ninja when he inevitably attacks here. Okay. I mean, that's a play, sure. It's most definitely something you can do. One last cringe. Aw. Hello there, Mr. Matador. How's it going? Crit? Yeah, I didn't get it. Oh well, we're still doing a hell of a lot of damage. I think that's our first standard, like, nothing boosted 300 plus there. I mean, so far the highest I've seen this thing hit is about, like, 760. So... Well, that was with the finisher, though, so I don't know if that counts. So no, nothing's died yet, but if I'm looking at this right, I think we might have a perfect lineup for an Infinity. Oh, hang on one second. Alright, and back. Yeah, sorry for the slight pause there. Yeah. The snow trucks driving by ended up waking up my kiddo. Oh, look at that perfectness right there. Oh, man. The land is telling me... Oh, wow. Nerd. Anyway. Let's see. Hey, doing family management under control? You kids still running around the house like madmen? I mean, they're toddlers. They're gonna run around like mad kiddos all the time. It's just what they do. Oh, this is a tempting thing, but both things are gonna be gone if we don't run forward, so I'm gonna take the Vit card. Please boost us a point. Please, we need that tasty Vit. It counters everything. Oh man, it did just boost us a point. They were doing 25, now they do 24. It doesn't sound like much, but that's gonna be huge. Anyway. See, like, now, at that point, it does 1. But as time goes on, there's some cases that can be a lot more dramatic than that. And this one poor healer... I love how they designed this, where they've got one guy that's somehow supposed to be boosting all these guys, and this rogue can just suck it. What the hell? They keep taking my crap. There's no reason for them to go there, because they're just gonna die immediately. I mean, it's at this point, I almost wonder if they're just being petty. Oh, well. But yeah, so as far as everything goes, yeah, the kiddos are toddlers at this point, so yeah, they are wild and crazy and everything else all the time. It's just what they do, and, I mean, most of the craziness has been courtesy of just every time it seems like the finances have been sorted out, some crazy nonsense comes out of nowhere. Like, towards the end of last year. So, the main thing we've needed for stability for years is a house, right? Getting a house in where we live, like, we live where we live because my wife's job is really good. Thing is, it's not quite enough by itself for us to be stable. We can't get a house for the last few years because as soon as we started looking, it became very clear that like, houses will disappear immediately. You have to be completely pre-approved and ready to go with everything in hand and just immediately ready to go throw money down the next day, pretty much, in order to get anything around here. There are some places that are a bit out of the city, which have certain programs associated with them that we thought we'd give a try as well, but as of so far, none of those have panned out to anything remotely useful. The actual cases where their uses can apply are very, very rare to run into. And they almost always run into additional complications, and then somebody else tries to pull some extra thing at the last second, and then you get even more complications. It's a whole thing. Any dangways. Also, what is this lady's parry? I must know. 2. Alright, so they rolled a 10%. Just wanted to know. Anyway, so that is annoying on its own. That's all well and good. But yeah, so we kept looking for a good window to be able to pull that off. Now, theoretically, it looked like our best odds were for us to both get our credits up, for me to ditch the old self-employment thing, which, I mean, it face-planted into the ground real hard last year anyway, so... Also, 50%, please stop rolling against me here. So anyway, at that point, yeah, my old business fell apart, so went into the job market and all that kind of thing, and it seemed fairly workable. So that was all well and nice for like a month, and then the pandemic hit. So, I mean, retail was nonsense when this all immediately went down. After that point, attempted a few other things, tried property scouting for people that did paperwork writing, did content writing, did all this other stuff. Also, haha, that guy got hit by a meteor that he installed himself. Or rather, that his friend installed for their team. So yeah, let's see, the property scouting business went under, the paperwork people slowly trickled away out of existence, pretty much any other small work that happened just kept falling apart. The people that I was writing content for seemingly disappeared. It's just like something new would keep coming up over and over and over. So at this point, yeah, I thought I found the dream job a few months ago with this window selling thing, and then they had a bunch of technicalities come up for how they handle commissions on the back end. Because when I had gone through training, nobody had bothered to mention the fact that, well, on the back end, they might just suddenly renegotiate stuff for stuff that's completely out of your control. So, like, for example, say you sell a thing, like you sell a window job for like 10 grand, right? So your commission should, technically speaking, be 1,000 off that ballpark. I mean, it changes based on how discounted everything is, but the discounts I was running, generally speaking, you'd see like a 10-12% commission. So, okay, that sounds great on its own. It's a decent amount. It's definitely enough to make stuff go. Perfect, right? However, then what they don't tell you is that that when they get there, immediately they might say, hey, this person has bad credit, and immediately add an extra $4,000 to the price as they send it over to a shady loan guy. Understandable, a lot of businesses do that. It just sucks that nobody bothered to mention it. On top of that, if they get there, they go to do, they needed to do a couple different measurements for the process of actually installing them. So say they get over there and then they see it, they want to make a few adjustments or whatever else. Well, congratulations, those adjustments also suddenly just got added to the price. In most cases, this is stuff you can't actually ever know, because they're like, okay, we won't know until we open up the wall whether certain parts of a bay window or something like that is load-bearing. Nobody can know that. And so, yeah, that's not great. So okay, we get past that part. And then it turns out other times they may just suddenly try to add additional discounts at the last second just to appease them because they don't feel like sorting out some other problem that's going on. So after going and basically getting help to watch the kids and whatever else, just going and 24-houring this mess, just doing several appointments a day, going and driving like 80 miles or whatever else out of town, thinking, it's going to be all worth it, I'm going to go grind this out like all hell, going to get all our bills paid and caught up, and I'm just going to do this in bursts, right? I'm just going to do this until I can't anymore, and then, just go and restart and restart and restart. And also, why can't I move to that tile? I'm quite confused. What did I just do? I thought I put my flight boots on. Oh, I've got lead in! That's why. Sorry, I'm going on about the story, I didn't even realize. Yeah, we get enough of these to spare it. So yeah, suddenly this, like, I think I was expecting like 6 grand in commissions or something like that after the first months, thinking like, hey, I finally found my calling here. And then the thing shows up and they're like, so, here's like $500. Like, what happened? Like, oh, we canceled a couple of them just because we felt that they may have complications. They didn't ask to cancel, we just did it for them. We thought there may be something extra. We just didn't like that customer very much, and the rest of them, yeah, they just happened to get lowered. How about that? Okay, have a nice day. So, due to all those shenanigans, yeah, it's still technically working there and whatever else. It's just, yeah, leads have died down, and I only do them via Zoom now. It just got real frustrating. Oh, thank you for the host there, Chaos Guy. Appreciate it. Anyway, so that's that whole life spiel part. I appreciate it very much, dude. How's it going? Alright, and then, yeah, we should be able... I don't think we'll be able to bear claw this guy down. Oh, I guess we can. Perfect. Can't say it's 4:40. Well, over here it's like 7:30, however that works. And yet another one with not a single bag drop. Awesome. So you just got half the story, I have to pick up the phone, mute you, and then I have to follow Call of the Wild, or I can write a book, or tie the, write a book with the title, The Yellow Sea in My Pants? Well then. Getting old has its downsides. Alright. So. How do we do here? I mean, same as we've been doing, really. Absolutely love this build. Alright, so we need 2 particular units here. Apparently a rune fencer drops a throwing weapon book, and apparently a, hang on, who is it that we need? Should probably pause it before they go everywhere. Okay, third descent, what do we need here? It's fourth, come on, tiny letters, where are ya? Oh, the crossbow book is in number 7. That's not great, but alright. The thrown weapons 2, third descent, human male beast tamer. Let's see where they are. So that should be Mr. Lloyd here, and he's just over there. Okay, and judging by everything, he should probably stick out pretty well. Give it a second scan, make sure we're not missing anything. I think he got rid of some of the excessively redundant floor drops, but just double checking. Because yeah, crossbows on the final boss, so we're basically guaranteed that one. And then swords are on the male knight in the next one. So the next one's actually the stair map. I know exactly which one it is in the next one, because that's the only one I've ever actually bothered going for in previous runs. Like thrown weapons in general, in no version of this game have I ever really bothered going for them. I've had one guy that ever used, or that really ever made much use of thrown weapons, and that was the Tammuz in most of the One Vision runs. I like making him a flying hoplite. Alright, let's see. I used to live on the east side of the country, but I messed up my sleep cycle. I can understand that. I actually used to live in California for a while and absolutely loved the fact that you could basically end your day at noon. It was great. Oh wow, this guy, that guy thought that through. So would you say I'm at the beginning of 30 or so, but always make him feel old? Yeah. I mean, the ages are all over the place. Like, technically, I mean, wait, when am I hitting 30? I'm hitting 30 in a couple months. Huh. Joining that old club. Although then I guess can't make jokes about my wife robbing the cradle anymore either. Here in Southern California. Yeah, I used to be down in Long Beach and all that kind of thing. Which was kind of funny, because last night was watching SWAT with the wife, and I was kind of surprised that they did legitimately film it in Long Beach. They weren't like, oh, it's totally Long Beach, and it's clearly Florida. I was like, hey, I remember that spot. I used to go walking there. They're taking out some guy's boat. Let's see, do I take a safety heal? Maybe not. I think I'm going to put up a Fortify, just to save on healing items a little bit. So old club, good club, smack's always good. Alright. I mean, depends on the context of the smacks, I suppose. Alright, Ring of Vigor, not really helpful, but that is a grand, so not going to say no to that. I'm hoping Whip Guy just gets himself counter-killed and I can go pick up the bag. He's guaranteed to drop the crafting book. So yeah, one of the changes that One Vision made is that if somebody has the option to drop a crafting book, it will always drop. So a lot of folks basically praise that as the second coming, which is, I mean, yeah, you could start a religion behind that. Weirder things have started religions. Alright, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to take an actual heal here. Because it's actually 7 floors, not 5. I don't know why I thought it was 5. Yeah, the one phalanx over there should do a good job of keeping them at bay. We're going to need... we're going to put siege up. I'm just going to sit. And hopefully not get completely owned by this griffin now. Because that's a thing that can happen, especially empowered. So when the club isn't enough, pull out Grandpa's old double-barreled shotgun. Jeez. Actually, I don't know if I've ever shared that story before, but I had a investor, like, old guy friend in California. It was a case where... How exactly did this all come together? So, I mentioned before my mother was a complete lunatic, but basically had a whole lot of unusual friends from a very particular international community there. So what had happened, this... actually, I think we're going to keep this guy alive, just lock him away in there. So what had happened, I guess she had met this guy as a friend or whatever else. It was like this millionaire guy in California. But dude was the epitome of quirky. Like, we're talking a case where he had multiple cars, he had a big house, you know, walls around it, all that kind of thing. However, the guy would not pay for his frickin' fees for his properties, and, I mean, it was... okay. Imagine, like, a rich version of Kramer from Seinfeld. It's that. Like a case where I go in, their kid had gone and put like, I think like 40 gigs or whatever of porn on his computer, and you couldn't understand why it wasn't working. Thinking viruses out the ears. So I'm going and fixing the thing, and all of a sudden he just comes in with the phone like, here, you take this call. So he's like, here you go, you're my assistant now. So I just pick up the phone. You know, I'm already technically a business assistant at that point, so I figure what the hell. And then yeah, it's this code enforcement guy that needs to collect some fees. And for some reason, the guy just refuses to pay his $80 or whatever. But, you know, perfectly happy wasting hundreds on, like, what did he have, like 17 lawnmowers because they were on sale? Why would you ever need that many lawnmowers? But anyway, so we're talking a case where he would see something on sale and would just hoard the crap out of it. And so they just had crap all over this giant house of theirs. So at one point, you know, we're going through, and I guess she had offered to go clean his house for him in exchange for I don't even know what. Maybe I don't want to know. And so we're going through, we're cleaning, and I'm, you know, picking up piles of stuff, putting them in boxes, and I just find this random, like, friggin' sawed-off shotgun just laying behind his bed there. I was like, oh yeah, you found my shotgun. Where was that thing? Like, well, next to your, you know, World War II era rifle over there, but I'm not entirely sure why this was just in a pile of garbage. Like, oh yeah, I just put that thing somewhere. I couldn't remember where I left it. I'm like, you know what, that checks out, but, this is really weird. So yeah, it's the funny shotgun story. Also, sweet Jesus, we are absolutely swimming in debuffs here. I think I'm going to take one turn to get rid of debuffs to hopefully speed up our recovery a little bit. I need to remember to buy a bunch of panaceas after this whole thing, which we might actually get some money for if, you know, some kind of absolute miracle happens and I actually get some drops. But yeah, all we get is cards. I guess stat cards are nice for what we're doing right now, but we're broke as all broke. Like, we are giga broke right now, and that's not great. Also, nice RNG on that one. Yeah, this guy's just whipping real good. See, we got a one-time chance on that book. I don't want to reset the fight on killing this green guy. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to trap him in here. Congratulations, sir, on your new shadow prison. And we're going to go fight everything else. Because as much as we could just one-shot him right now, I do not want to lose that frickin' book. It's not one I'm likely to use, but I don't want to lose it all the same, because I don't feel like coming back here. That all said, if this build continues to be this good when it eventually maxes out, I'm, like, especially if our stats keep going up like they're going, we'll eventually kind of hit a critical mass moment, where we'll actually start being able to do almost vanilla levels of damage, and maybe... like I said, right now we're capping out at about 760 on a weak unit. If we can eventually get, like, medium to light damage going up to the 800, 900 range, that's around the point that it's kind of the point of no return damage-wise, and we should be able to just stick with this. Throw out another delay here. Once again, they don't seem to be bothering with healing very much. What's our Bear Claw looking like? Absolutely delicious is what it's looking like. I'm not going to waste another Panacea or heal of any kind, really. There we go, we got our debuff. Perfect. Because they don't really have the damage output to be too much of a threat right now. Wizard guy can't do jack. Everybody else is just kind of throwing out what they can, which is not very much. I mean, Disembowel's doing 100. That's adorable. So it's gonna do its thing. We'll just do a siege and bear claw on this dragon, get him out of the way. Go deal with the caster so he stops slowing us down, and then we can deal with the knight and everybody else. I feel like the archer's probably going to be the next big threat. Next turn we're just going to pick up that card and heal, I think. Just for safety. Again, we are doing a lot better on the healing items than I thought. I'm going to have to stack back up to 99s if possible after all this. Wow, lady, are you serious? Did she just set herself up to get killed immediately? She's like, I'm tired of this. just end it. Whatever. We're not getting anywhere. You're not even worried about that guy. He's just gonna run around, pussyfooting around the map, doing his little pew-pews. I mean, theoretically a crit could do it here, but oh well. Just do this. I mean, she's not even a threat right now. Doesn't matter. Sweet move. Maybe we leave the wizard alone. Don't actually remember if we have throwing rocks or not. They're not going to recover. They don't really have the options to. These guys, for whatever reason, don't seem like they've even been given items. So, whatever. Funnily enough, of all of the things that the game puts out there, for whatever reason, almost all of the maps have their own item pool, apparently. At least that's what it seems like. Who knows why, but that's just how it goes. Let's go ahead and trap this guy in place and finish him off next round. No second that, because I want to build up a little bit more TP off him. This is wild, though. Actually, come to think of it, I don't know how on earth... Wait a minute, why does bind immediately? This will roll really low on that bind. Lame. Nowhere to run, wizard. I like to think that 1 point of Vit suddenly put us into the invincible category, but it's really mostly just that, well, a lot of the early bandit fights are kind of set up as a test for the actual temple fights. There's definitely some harder ones in there, but for the most part, you know, it's going to be a bit of an easier time, especially for the air one. I think air is the easiest. Water is alright. Oh, hang on one quick second here. Okay, and back. Yeah, that truck drove by, scared the kiddos. Needed to let them lay back down until they're actually ready to get up. And so go figure, we actually managed to get a drop. Oh, and it's a good drop, too. Fantastic. I don't know if that's going to scale well with any of the stuff that we do right now, but it's definitely going to be a high-end staff anyway. Fantastic. All right, so this is a win already. Just getting an air wand at this point is, well, it's not really going to be the biggest game changer in the world, but it does allow some more build viability. Let's just put that thing over there. We're probably going to be forced to take another item at some point. Do I want to take Levitate? I kind of want to take Levitate. Just to move around a little bit easier. Plus, you know, sidestep. Kind of handy. Sweet 25%. I appreciate that the RNG is going to do that. Just plain frickin' rude. 25 and then 49. So yeah, we got poisoned, and we now have to use another healing item. We gotta use the healing item because and another slow. God dang it, this is... Could you not be a dick, RNG? Would greatly appreciate it. Alright, this guy needs to piss right off, and this guy needs to sit over here in his little corner and stop trying to get himself murdered. Don't have time for all that right now. Thank you for finally remembering that block exists. I'm probably gonna have to turn on the flight boots. Go chase after these flappy guys. I mean, the only downside to Siege is, yeah, we're gonna have a really hard time chasing anyone down. Do we really have to use up another HP here? Really only have so many of those. Yeah, I want to still have my... Actually, no. No. Yeah, that's fine. She won't be able to reach anyway. I don't think she has Siege. That guy's going to be a pain in the neck. I might just have to use Infinity or something on him. I mean, they're bound to do something stupid at some point. I think I might just chase this guy into a corner or something. And yeah, as long as we stay in his attack range, you probably won't ever get the MP to do another 3. Beautiful. And yeah, he just screwed himself. Perfect. Alright, so what are the odds, you think, that as soon as this guy dies, he's gonna drop something and this guy's immediately gonna go take it? I think the odds are fantastic. That said... Oh, he actually didn't. Wow! Miracles do happen! Can't quite finish her off yet, but we can... Hang on, does she have Steadfast? She's an endgame tank, there's a good chance she has Steadfast, and she does. That's a bummer. I was gonna say, we could just push her off, but... Oh well, I guess we won't. And for the moment, I'd like to try to play it safe. But at the same time, there's just a caster and her. I just wonder if we siege and bear claw, if that'll be enough. Yes, it will. Right, this guy doesn't have a finisher yet, so we should be safe here. He didn't take it. Perfect. Please block that. Thank you. Excellent. Let's see. He's definitely got one coming, so that's gonna be about 100. He's just got casts. I don't really want to risk it. All right, we'll take one more. Take one more. One more Mega Grape. Slowed down again. Darn. It's just an evasion ring. I was really hoping that might, by chance, have been the Walloon or whatever the hell she was carrying. Most of the other stuff is pretty much on par with what we've already got. With the sword would have been an upgrade. Oh well. It's fine. Noise. Alright, give me that crafting book. Then we'll go pick up that card, we'll go smack a wizard, and we're good. We'll go throwing weapons too. Fan-frickin-tastic. Almost don't care enough about that card to go get it. Which one is it? It's Resistance. I really want it, actually. So yeah, this guy's probably gonna run up and get close anyway. Good. He doesn't have the feather whatever. Drop bag? No bag. Well, you know what? You know what? I'm very okay with that. We didn't get any other bags, but we got a bunch of stats up, and ended up getting Wind Staff, and ended up getting a crafting book I'm never going to use. So you know what? That is a win. So next we got the stairs. So what we're looking for is a knight to spawn on this one. A female blue knight, I believe. Looked easy. So far that's because most of the bandit fights were pretty much a check to get into here. Wait a minute, this is not the map I thought it was. Well, we've got a knight. I think it's still going to be this one. Or the Frog Rock, not the Walloon. It was originally the Walloon in... Oh wait, is the Frog Rock still the Lightning Rapier? No, that's the Wind one. I still think it's probably the same one. We can still do it though. But yeah, thankfully most of these fights don't come with healers, and plus with this build right now, as well as the fact that we keep getting pretty decent luck with our setups, it's basically resulted in one-shotting almost everything. Plus, almost everything in the Wind Temple is stuff that we're very resistant to. So the only things that we really don't directly resist are going to be any of the two-hander units and the beasts. But everything else, I mean, everything else is not even a threat. The archers do almost no damage. With the combination of heavy armor and really high vitality, like, their whole damage is scaling damage, so they do nothing. Not to mention we're running sidestep most of the time, so there's that too. All the like ninjas and other light units that they keep using are built for DPS. This particular build is set up for, well, basically heavy armor, but still light shield and flying boots for really high evasion. So, yeah, we're more or less a hard counter to everything in here. The rest are not going to be that way. In fact, I have no clue how on earth we'd ever do the Earth Temple. I'm hoping there isn't anything we need in there. Because that is going to murder real hard, and yeah. In order to do that one, I mean, possibly Armorcraft might solve that problem, because we need to have petrification resistance. Because like every other unit has petrification on there. Oh, when we're hitting that point in the game. Man, I thought all those were removed. I mean, I guess it would make sense that they weren't, because that would be a hell of a lot of effort. Yeah, by this point in the game, you even start getting cards as bag drops but you don't actually get the stats from them. It's pretty annoying. I believe it was for the purposes of trying to make traps more viable, which is dumb because traps are not viable. Not by any stretch of the imagination. Well, in this version they are. In the original, they were worthless. There was no reason to even take the skill slot. It didn't matter if you had access to all of them infinitely. There was literally no use for traps. Because it... Oh, you dick. To explain what I mean, right now, in order for traps to be competitive, because of the fact that they don't trigger when somebody walks over them, they trigger if somebody ends their turn on them. So they now have 2-tile range. They will reduce half of the health of whatever unit steps on it and give them a pretty crippling debuff in most cases, like a shackle or a stop or whatever else. In some cases, there's healing ones as well that'll just heal it to full. Which, funnily enough, one of the temple fights, I forgot, I did actually step on a full heal trap that they set on a mistake, but either way, that was just luck. You can't really predict that. I just had no idea where they were setting down traps, and yeah, just happened to get a full heal. I doubt we'll ever get to see that kind of luck again. Anyway, so what was I getting at here? This guy's using a whip, isn't he? No, he's using a two-hander. Okay, we're fine where we are then. Anyway. So, the original version was 1 tile, plus they had an AoE explosion, plus they were pretty much useless in terms of their effect. So, like, for example, Misstep here, the thing that, or let's say Stagger, right? So you can get a trap that does Stagger, something that's a free effect on swords in this game, or in the mod anyway. Now, what'll Stagger do? Well, it makes them less likely to evade melee damage. Okay, fantastic. You know, you used an action move, you just got a debuff off on multiple units. You know what else it did? You were standing right next to it, so it hit you too. So yeah, it was difficult to pull off. It was annoying to ever land. The actual effect was fairly minimal, and you could pretty much always land it in some more effective manner. I don't believe there were even poison traps, which would have actually been very useful. But, you know. What can you do? Alright, so I need to make sure that this knight doesn't do anything stupid, so I'm going to start blocking off tiles. Hopefully we can get her walled off and then fly out of here. Because that's kind of what I'm waiting for right now. I want to take out a couple units, whether we get their drops or not, and then just fly into the fray on the other side, drop another phalanx, and then kind of go isolating them from there. So there's it. But anyway, how's all y'all's day going? Anybody else get snowed in? Like, I'm fairly certain I can't, like, even if I wanted to, I probably couldn't go anywhere today. Because I doubt like, last night I was able to run to the store, but I was kind of slipping and sliding all the way there. So I really doubt it's going anywhere today. Now, out of curiosity, how good would this do? Surprisingly poorly, actually. And would be real nice to not get envenomed by everything, just a thought. So what we're going to do, we're going to put another phalanx right there. We're going to let a couple units through. And then we'll go from there. In the Caribbean, so it never snows. How's that pirate ship going? You end up pissing off the British today? I don't know if... That's not considered offensive in the Caribbean, is it? Because pirates are considered hilarious over here. Okay. Okay, good. It just occurred to me that might be a real dick thing to say, but anyway. Alright, come on, give me that 25%. Nice. Okay. RNGesus is forgiven. And okie dokie. I think that kiddos might be trying to get up. One quick moment. Let me see what the situation is there. Okie doke, and back. So, funny thing, I never really... well, okay, so I go over and check on my son there, which I'm assuming he probably heard the snow that was outside and got up. But he's just standing there in the doorway, and he's clearly not awake yet. He's like, are you awake? Are you awake? He's like, no. I go take nap. Slams the door and runs back to bed. Oh, that's funny. Toddlers are a trip. Which, by the way, so what I was actually starting to say there, I found out something wild the other day that I'm a little bit surprised that it took 3 kids to actually hear about. So apparently, and I'd love to see this come up in a horror movie at some point, apparently all toddlers are farsighted. Yeah, apparently that's a thing. Like, as far as when they run up to stuff and then it takes them a second to register, it's not because they're slow. Like, I always figured they're still learning stuff, they're just, you know, a little dumb sometimes. And I thought it was that. But it turns out, yeah, no, they're just farsighted, so it takes them a second to focus. So that's neat. Just kind of a weird little factoid of the day. Alright, what did this guy drop? More crap. Okay. I mean, an Empress or a Magician. Well, that ain't much of a choice. We don't need more MP. I say, as some crazy strategy down the line revolves around collecting 80 billion MP cards for some reason. And that's okay, Perry. They get 40% all the time, but you don't roll that 45%. Now, I will say, to clarify further what I was just saying, when I say dumb, I mean, like, they will do the most random stuff for seemingly no reason, because it seems like a good idea to them at the time. Like, sometimes they'll get upset about something, turn around, and run straight into a door. That happens more often than you'd think, and if you ever wondered why you had baby pictures where you maybe had a lump on your head, that might be why. But, yeah, they're just still figuring out how everything works, so that's kind of what the deal is there. Like, all in all, it's amazing how quickly they learn. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's kind of unprecedented in terms of how quickly you can learn stuff throughout the rest of your life. But just it's kind of a fun thing there. Yeah, toddlers are fun. Although it's one of those things that it's like they're fun in the moment, and then you kind of realize you're gonna have to deal with this mess that they're making. Then suddenly it becomes a bit less fun. But that's how that works. Can we maybe get through this fight without any additional healing? Do I have an antidote? Yes, we do. Like, yeah, one thing you'll see come from a lot of parents is the fact that sometimes they will just... It's not necessarily that they won't eat a certain thing, but they'll just eat weird in some particular way. Like, they'll just find a certain type of food that they really want to eat, but then they'll just sit there chewing it for a straight hour. It's like, why are you still chewing that? Why won't you stop? They're like, no, I'm done. Like, that chicken, it must be turned into gum by now. Why are you doing that? And then you just sort of got to figure it out. It's a never-ending puzzle. Oh, well, I'm sure that didn't sound weird at all in the background, Mr. Matador. This is the point where we start discussing really questionable stuff while there's a visitor in the background. Sounds like a good idea with no downsides. Okay, this is looking alright. So they're just trickling down one by one. This is why the strategy is very effective. Muted. Fine. Because they just like the taste. I mean, like, they'll specifically complain about the taste, and wow, did I just seriously roll 2 29s in a row? Hot dang, dude. That is pretty nice right there. That's some amazing RNG making up for all the bullcrap earlier. Oh, really? Really? Why are those in there? I mean, to some degree, yeah. I mean, cards are basically taken... Maybe that's the thing. They wanted to give people the same buff items that they had before, but they felt bad or something. Because they thought that it would seem like they were cheaping them out or giving them beginning game items at the very end of the game or something. I don't know. Do we use the wingy boots? I think so. Don't want to get close to the knife, but we do want to go all the way over here. Hopefully 1v1 somebody. Maybe throw down a phalanx just for a little bit more control. If you ever look at a map and wonder what's with the random phalanx placement, it's usually just for controlling movement in some very specific situation. Perfect. You just land yourself right there. Out of curiosity, how good can we do here? I think if we heal now, we take a basic attack and counter, then we can end this guy very quickly. Really? The dragon's scared to attack. Nice. Nice. So phalanx can be dispelled or destroyed? Technically, yes, but there's only... Well, there's Shadow Break, which very few units carry. Or no, not Shadow Break. There's Squash, which very few units carry, or Shadow Break, which Dark Knights almost always carry. Or Terror Knights, rather. I forgot to turn on Strengthen, didn't I? Oh well, screw it. It's fine, we'll turn it on next round. Got some shiny rocks. I'm actually not upset by a gemstone drop. It's pretty handy. They're pretty expensive in the One Vision mod. But yeah, Squash, it's just a super rare skill, so you can't even really plan around that very often. And for basically anytime you see Terror Knights, you're not going to be able to use them as effectively, but that doesn't mean that they're ineffective. It basically just means that every now and then they will waste their TP blowing them up. What's funny is it used to cause friendly fire, which was incredibly abusable, so that they can't do friendly fire anymore because the AI would just blow up their own units and you could just spam phalanxes forever and win. But yeah, in terms of anything else though, yeah, they're pretty much good across the board. Aside from TKs, yeah, there we go. There's the sword enchilada. Yeah, I asked Rakes to change the official name of the book to the Enchilada from the Enchiridion. He wasn't going for it, unfortunately. It was a sad day. But yeah, while they can technically be blown up, it's unlikely. That's what I'm trying to get at here. Terror Knights are usually slow. Everything else is usually not much of an issue. There we go. And of course, he wouldn't drop a bag, but there we go. That is everything except for the boss now. One quick second again. Alright, so hopefully we have time to finish this up still. Kiddos are munching away. There's the last fight. Let's do this thing. Now, this right here is one of the reasons that I said I wasn't terribly worried about how we're going to get through the temples specifically. Because most of them are very gimmicky. They're usually there to show off all the stuff that their element has to offer. Like shiny griffins. Okay, nobody's becoming an oracle here. Maybe we'll let Olivia become an oracle just for the hell of it. But for the most part, it's not really what we're going for. So this fight is hilariously simple. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna probably just sit here, actually. Because this dude is just gonna charge in. And just like that one temple guy, or not temple guy, but just like the one fortress guy, he's faster than the rest of his team, so basically for about the first 5 rounds or so, this fight is in reality a fight against 3 griffins, which we've been able to dominate very clearly for quite a while now. So we'll draw them back a little bit. In fact, where's your movement range end? Yeah, we can take a good healthy chunk back. He's got some friggin' movement on him. And yeah, no matter what, this guy is guaranteed to drop the crafting book that we're actually here for. I think. Wait, he's got crossbows. We already got the crossbow book. Okay, that knockback sucks, but oh well. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. I'm actually just going to sit here, turn strengthen on, and wait. I don't think that attack is going to be enough for him to get up to 100. I just don't want him to spam any of his crazy moves or anything else. Come on. Never mind, we won't even need to do that. Right, he's got that. That's fine, that's fine. All we need to do is sit and recover until he gets countered into a breach. Because all he's going to do is sit here and attack. And if we attack him, he's going to spam Bloodbath. If we counter him, he gets breached. Then we get our special move right there. That's the end. As has been, as has been demonstrated this entire time, we can just suddenly decide our attack is 40% higher than it normally is, as long as good RNG happens. Beautiful. Just gonna sit right way back in the back there. He's about 4 rounds away to actually do anything useful. Awesome. Very awesome. Didn't get the breach. I think it might be time to just go for it anyway. Alright, come on. Guys are going to be very fast, though, because they're all light units. This is starting to look like it might actually take a second attempt. Because all we need is for that, all we need is for that breach to trigger, but it hasn't. Oh, I should have just used the item on him. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. after this. We'll see what the new craftables unlocked, and then we should be good to go. Suppose this is the benefit of having them work this way. Actually, we might potentially want to come back here later. Because I think Vinya's talons are one of the things that can drop here. But yeah, each of the bosses, if you come back a second time, they have a unique weapon. So since it's probably going to be a few days until any other streamage can potentially happen, what I'll probably end up doing is trying to go back to the ones that I've already done and see if I can get the unique weapon drop. Because this one in particular has been something else. I think it was the talons from this one. Or it might have been the knife. I don't even remember. Whatever, they each drop one unique piece of armor, one unique weapon. But unfortunately, it's complete RNG as to whether they even decide to spawn any subsequent visits, which is just kind of dumb. Not really sure who decided that one, because why would you go through the entire thing and not want to fight the guy that you would ever want to go in there for? Oh well. Logic, I suppose. So we'll just go ahead and drop the breach, just in case we don't get it. They should go in for an attack, get countered. There we go, please parry that, or don't, whatever. Perfect, we got the crit. So yeah, as long as we get our turn, that's it, that's checkmate. They might get a second turn and potentially heal. And could you imagine if this game had something like RT save? So, I've mentioned several times that most of the things from FFT are in here, but dude, if you had RT save in this game, it'd be hilarious. Okay, he didn't go for the bloodbath, he went for the poison. So I think we can still do this. Turn, please. Why do they all gotta be all zoomy fast like? That moment when you show up to the boss, but you already are the boss. You are the boss of the boss. No, you dick! Let me have a turn. Stop healing him. Okay, seriously though? Can I move yet? That slow really put us back a decent ways here. Okay. Come on, checkmate. Driving cut wouldn't do it. Bear Claw is not scaling up on this guy. Interesting. Alright. Well, good to know. In that case, we should set up for driving cut instead. Frustrating. Alright. Let's see if he, for some reason, decides to go for the melee here. There's still a chance to... Are we gonna have to one-by-one this? Parry? No. Alright, you know what? We might actually have to one-by-one this. Dang it. Darn. Well, conveniently, pretty much all their offense is going to be dedicated... Yeah, I don't think we're going to change anything build-wise. All their offense is going to be entirely in the hands of their griffins. So seeing as, well, 2 of them are going to go down like nothing, I think what we do is we pick a corner, we hide in it, we deal with the griffins one by one, force them to use range attacks from there, which they really only have one of after a little while. But this is perfectly doable. Out of curiosity, by the way, because there's potentially another way through this. Do you still count as a beast? Yeah, divine. Okay. So yeah, this one counts as divine. The one in the fire temple counts as a fairy, which is kind of funny because yeah, this some of them do actually count as beasts. Like the water temple one, the octopus does count as a beast. So any of them that do count as a beast or dragon, you can just one-shot. Well, in the case of the dragon, it's a 2-shot, but still. The lightning one's a dragon. It's kind of rough. Actually, that fight's gonna suck. Although they can't heal, so... No, they've got fairies, though. Well, they can't fly all the time, and there's phalanxes... Whatever, we'll deal with it. Fantastic. So we take the turn to just swing instead. Double parry, very nice. And that was before even turning on siege. Alright, if we go here, that should actually be a very awkward shot for their crossbows to get shots from. Is that weird crystal thing in the way? Let's see what they do. Let's see what they do. Problem is they can all fly. In later ones, I think pretty much all the rest of the temple is there, mostly terrestrial. Yeah, terrestrial. So hopefully that won't be as much of an issue. And I wonder if we'll actually have the points, because he hasn't healed yet. And I think he took a fairly long move, because we're about to move, and it looks like the 2 small griffins are about to move. And we're going to have a maxed out bar right now, courtesy of that guy. By chance, is that enough to do it? My dudes, that is enough to do it. Magnificent, dang right. Dang right it's magnificent. Should have left that sit for a moment so it could be the thumbnail. There we go. Fist and... Nice! I didn't even... Yeah, okay. Rakes, we gotta update that list, because it does not say that fist drops here. Hang on, where does it say fist drops? Wait, and we got the platinum, and we got the typhon. I think that's supposed to be a typhoon, but they ran out of letters or something. Might be wrong on that, or it might just be an old version of it. Yeah, it says the... Wait, is it the fist? No, fist and Tritian. Oh no, it totally does say it's here. Crap. I'm just an idiot. Well, that's good. Alright, so let's go see what kind of new crap we unlocked for the run. Because I should probably pick up most of those better craftables. Man, I love the Wind Temple. Feels so good. You might say that was a breeze. Yeah, I think we'll probably go for water or ice next. Oh, hey, it's Denim Shop. Right, so what do we got here? So for Fist, ooh, beautiful. Alright, so we got Endgame Dark Claw, Lightning Claw, Wind, Ice, and Fire. Thinking possibly the dark one here. Yeah, the Kerberos Fangs. We just need Woods and Gloom, so worth doing that. Got the Fandango, the Kali, Iceberg, the Cortana, and the Sun Manus. Yeah, between all these, I'm thinking the Cortana is probably going to be the best. Actually, wait, Purify... Wait a dang minute. Yeah, let me pick up the ones that I think are best, and then we'll look for anything else past there. I'll explain why in a moment. I just don't want to forget the items that I need. Send in the extra loot. That should be enough. We need to purify. Oh, we can't get it here. Although, wait a minute. Oh yeah, you already know all this stuff. I was gonna say... Did we already pick up all of this? But apparently we did. In fact, is some of this new? I feel like some of this is new. maybe not. Let's pick up some refined. Pick up some refined and some purified. Picking up a few extra because I'm sure we'll need more. We'll need to leave Deneb's shop in order to go pick up that purify thing. So the reason we'd be going for the Cortana is because water scales with bad blood, which basically means that even if it has less attack than some other ones around it, we'd essentially be saving a skill slot by already being spec'd into water. And the reason that I'm also kind of excited by it is because it's saying that it requires Purify, which might mean that it has poison immunity on it. So that's actually another thing that somebody brought up last time. That these actually, if we ever need sleep immunity, charm immunity, stun immunity, and slow immunity, we could just carry these in the offhand because they confer a immunity bonus for that. So I need a slow and a Gerges to make that one. Let me actually just go make that real quick. Ooh. We can get poison immunity by carrying that thing around too. Or that thing. How have I never... I feel like such an idiot for not realizing that you could use a friggin' flute as a as a shield. Okay, so we need slow and we need purify. And yeah, if it sounds like my throat's getting all dry and crap, that's because it is, because this crap is cold out here. Alright. Let's purify. Alright, well. Have to make it here? What is going on here? Hang on, am I just misreading that? Wait, the water one, right. Right. Oh, and out of curiosity, what's I'm throwing too? Just the Ripper and the Meteor Bola. I mean, if we need them, they're here. It's whatever. I don't see that being amazingly useful, but, you know, if we need it, we need it. And then for crossbows... What's this one? So we've got an ice offhand crossbow, or two of the long-range ones. So we got earth and lightning for that. I mean, I'd probably just upgrade them directly. I don't really see anything being super useful out of those. But whatever, it's there if we need them. It's the same general idea. And then we need 2 Woots, a Gloom. Let's get on that. 2 Woots. Dark crystals. Simple enough. Don't you just love when you can just make stuff instead of spending, I don't know, like 80 different crafting cycles to go make something? It's pretty darn dandy. Wait, can we get the... Oh yeah, right, we already used the axe and Enchilada. We need Cataract Orb as well. We'll get there. First off, the Kerberos Fangs. I'm assuming we'll probably want to go for some different ones just based off level. So, the Ozzy Dahaka is... We need a Fire Crystal and a Inferno. So I guess while we're here, we might as well make all of those. So first of all, we're going to need another Woots. And we're actually going to need to pick up more of the blue rocks. Give me more blue rocks. And we're broke again. Cataract, we're gonna need 2 water, of course we do. 2 water, and then 3 fire. It'd be quite dandy if one of these just kind of happened to drop 2. But oh well, we've got enough. Got enough to make that happen. Just barely, but we've got enough. Probably see if there's anything worthwhile with the other swords there. Because I feel like most of these are more or less going to be on the same level. The iceberg I'm not going to go for. Like, it's funny because this was probably one of the most busted swords in the vanilla game. Mostly because as soon as you got Osmo, she had increased ranks for ice augment. And then you combined that with the ice blades, and then you gave her dual wield, and at that point she was doing like 1200 damage to the final boss. Right out the gate. It was kind of messed up. Treatise on Grace, though. That sounds interesting. Alright, we'll get this one. I feel like some of the swords might have some bonuses that I'm kind of missing out on here. So let's go ahead and sell some more stuff. What can we sell weapon-wise? No, 2 jump eyes is fine. So what does this give? Just a negative MP claw and an envenom claw. Man, it's an MP claw. I hate those. Fine, whatever. I mean, it gives resistance, so that's nice. I mean, yeah, these feel like they're pretty much on the same level. Alright. And yeah, these are also more or less on the same level. The Lombardi has a slightly higher attack, but just across the board, but just being able to save that one slot, you know, kind of a big deal there. Yeah, I really would have expected something a little bit more, but that's fine. I mean, it's probably just for the sake of flavor, just having to take a water spell. That's fine. That's fine. We got an Envenom Claw. I suppose that's what we needed. Ooh, actually, wait a minute. Are any of these Earth Fists by any chance? Why not? I mean, I'd like them to be Earth Fists. Yeah, that's probably going to be our best claw. Okay, so we need Blitz. Was it 2 Woots or 1? Yeah, Blitz, Woots, and an Orb. So I'm just going to make that one too, and that should be all we can realistically afford for now. Provided we can even afford to do that in the first place. We might not be able to afford it in the first place. If you're wondering why I'm giving them the full dragon set, even though they can only equip 2 pieces of it, it kind of... it's still TBD on what we'll actually need for that fight. So if given one or the other potentially messes with something. Yeah, there we go. There's some money. Sell some jewelry at this pawn shop. All we should need is 4. So let me go in here. What the hell orb did we need again? Tell me. Okay, lightning orb and a blitz arcana. I'm not sure why I was second guessing myself on the whole Woots thing. Each item can only have 4 things that make it up, so of course it would only be 1. And unfortunately, it looks like we are going to need to go buy a couple more of those ores, which leaves us very, very astoundingly broke. Alright. I mean, I guess I didn't need to craft all of this stuff. But I feel like in the long run it'll be worth the investment. So, basically, until the next time comes up there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back, I'm going to redo that same place. Going to try to get those couple of unique drops if they decide to cooperate. If not, then it's just basically going to be a just a cash grind, more or less. So yeah, that's what we'll go for. I feel like this went pretty well. I mean, the wind one in particular was pretty much a cakewalk. Actually, wait a minute, I can't even redo that one yet. Idiot. You can't redo that one yet. Yeah, that was a pretty significant drop in damage between the two, but that's only because we're augmenting light right now. Yes, this one is a poison claw, isn't it? Yeah, it's a venom claw. Alright, so that's at 31. This one is at 28, which means the rogue would be able to use it, or the warrior would be able to use it. Potentially solid options in either direction. I'm thinking, like... Yeah, actually, one potential idea would be at some point to switch over to warrior, go claw and shield. And for some of the really crazy maps, it might be worth just, you know, slashing everything away, getting in venom all over the place. Because they could potentially be running permanent defensive buffs. And venom everywhere would be pretty much overwhelming if it all goes well. Like, if there's enough frontliners, it's going to just spread around like the plague. Also potentially got a couple of classes to train up from low levels. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. So instead, until next time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go train up the lower level classes. You don't get base stat bonuses in this, but you do still get cards and drops and whatever else. So we can probably storm through a few maps, collect a few items. I feel like at this point we've got enough options, and especially with the night being as good as it is, because somehow we've gained like 4 points of dex in the last few parts. Don't ask me how. Actually, we've gotten a lot of Star and Judgments cards, haven't we? Anyway, we're doing amazingly in that regard. So I figure get stats up a little bit, actually rebuild the budget somewhat, because I don't think we can actually afford to do another run in another temple as it is. Because how many can I afford here? Like friggin' 4 seeds to make up for the 30 plus that we used. 37 in total, looks like. Alright, so that's the plan. I'll see you guys next time, and yeah, hope all goes well. Take care.